What is the future of performance cars? With emissions regulations and even buyer trends a bit all over the shop at the moment, who really knows? But what we do know is that right now we've got 3 different manufacturers here with 3 different interpretations of a 2025 driver's car. Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car.
Brought to you by
Budget Direct.
We have the 7th generation Ford Mustang muscle car that's still rear drive and still powered by an old school V8. Next, it's the first ever Hyundai Ioniq 5N that's all-wheel drive and fully electric. And completing our trio is another 7th generation model, the latest BMW M5 super sedan, and this time it's a plug-in hybrid. So this is not a conventional comparison test, as no one's likely to cross-shop this trio. Not so much that they're completely different body styles with wildly varying degrees of practicality, more that there's a circa 180 grand pricing gap between the Mustang and M5. This is more of a fun test to discover which of these cars puts its powertrain to best effect to deliver both convenient daily motoring and weekend driving thrills. It will also help tell us if electrification is going to be the ultimate party pooper for petrol heads. If the M5 exterior looks more aggressive than before, well, check out the trim of this particular spec. Bright red seats, sensory overload. Kind of love them, but it does reflect a cabin that has a bit of an edginess to the design, such as features like this diamond-shaped plastic on the dash there. Of course, we've got carbon fibre trim as well, because it's obligatory for an M car. But the cabin overall exudes absolute quality, as you would hope for a $260,000 car. And the switchgear tactility is absolutely awesome, from the paddle shift levers here. The iDrive controller here just feels absolutely beautiful. Has an M logo, of course. M5 badges on the seats. And the seats, by the way, just absolutely sumptuous, but also supportive, and you can make them even more supportive for fast driving. You can play around with the lateral bolstering here in the touchscreen. There is a lot of buttons, customization settings to set the car up exactly how you want it, so this isn't exactly a jump in and drive car. The N bucket seats immediately tell you that this is a car built for a certain purpose, and that purpose is going fast around corners. Severely huggy. Really, this is a car that is for people that like fast cars rather than fast food. Another business-like element of the car, the N steering wheel. Feels great in the hands, by the way. And then you've got your color-coded buttons, drive modes, N buttons. There's a center console that is actually different to the one in regular Ioniq 5. So Hyundai has actually moved the center console forward a bit. So 2 purposes that serves. One is that it makes more of a division between the driver and the front passenger. And the other clever part is that it allows the placement of soft knee pads on the side of the console, so you don't bang your knees when you're going around corners. The new Mustang's interior is a huge leap over its predecessor's cabin, and even Mustangs before that, let's be honest. Yes, there's some dubious plastics quality in obvious areas, but at least the Mustang has delivered a contemporary cabin experience. And it's fully embraced the digital age with these dual screens ahead of you. We've got the infotainment display here, digital driver cluster ahead of us, and even with that, it's got some configurability. If we press this My Mustang mode, and you can change the layout, and you can even have a classic cluster layout of a Fox body Mustang of the 1980s. There's even wireless smartphone integration. Now, of course, let's get down to the business end of the driver's cockpit. So we've got these wonderful Recaro bucket seats, which are a $3,000 option, but they're really cosseting and complement a driving position that is classic low-slung sports car. Firstly, what we love about this 5-litre Coyote V8 is its everyday drivability. It's got some really nice low and mid-range torque. It's a lazy V8, of course, because it's American, so the gearing is quite tall. But there's also a 7,500 RPM red line. So let's go. Oh, listen to that. What a sound, just pure from a normally aspirated V8. We get rev match, so auto blitz on downshifts if you don't want to heel and toe. Oh man, it's just such an experience. And because of that tall gearing, we're finding that on this very twisty Sutton's Road course that we're not really getting out of second gear much. Backing off, back on the gas, but oh. Now this is the lightest car by far in this comparison, because you've got the 2.4 tonne M5, 2.2 tonne Ioniq 5N, and this is a relative featherweight at just over 1.8 tonnes. And yeah, look, there's a long bonnet, but the Mustang turns really keenly into corners. It feels nicely balanced. Here we go, we'll tip it in to this tightening radius car, balance on the throttle, coming onto the straight, bury the throttle. Let's go for that 7,500 red line. Oh, absolutely beautiful. The manual gearbox, don't bother with the 10-speed auto, which is the only gearbox you can get in the Mustang convertible, by the way, which is why we wouldn't buy that one. But the gearbox, it's so accurate. It's a fairly short throw. It's really nice to use, and that drivability I was talking about earlier, you know, the ability to just drive this Mustang every day and it not be tiresome, you know, it's aided by this excellent gearbox. 0 to 100, 5.3 seconds, nothing special, way off the pace of the 5N or the M5, but you don't care because of the sound of that V8 and the dynamics of this 7th generation Mustang. Really quite a revelation. There we go. Oh, just turns into the corner beautifully. Lift off. Very stable rear drive handling. Brakes feel great. We've got Brembos on all 4 corners. This thing stops. This Mustang is fitted with 20-inch wheels and Magnaride dampers, and the ride quality, it's just so impressive. In fact, there's a very Germanic sense to the way that this Mustang has been engineered, the way it drives. When has that ever been said about a US muscle car? And it's certainly a car that drives so much better than the Mustang Mach-E electric SUV that, has to be said, really sullies the Mustang legacy. It's 2025, the first Mustang was out in 1964, long time ago, but this is surely the best Mustang ever. So we're just rolling along in the 5N Eco mode, press the blue drive mode button, there's normal, oh, instantly a bit of a pickup in acceleration, and there's also a sport mode, but the 5N has that wonderful trick of mimicking the drivetrain of the i30N hot hatch, the 2-litre turbo petrol with 8-speed dual clutch auto. To engage that, we have to press the M button on the lower left of the steering wheel. So that changes the paddle shift levers that are usually controlling the regen braking level. So we'll press that. And there we go. Now we've got the rev counter coming up. Then we're going to press the other M button. And now, listen to that. An electric car with a rorty engine sound. And also, if we now flick the left paddle, it blips the throttle as if we have 8 real gears, which of course we don't. This is an electric car. And I honestly don't think it's a gimmick. I've been driving the 5N a lot, and I still wouldn't switch this mode off, because I think it helps you gauge the speed that you're taking into corners as the artificial revs rise. And it is important to gauge your speed into corners because this car is so quick. We're onto the straight now. Let's go. Here's another trick. Now, it's hitting a limiter because the clever software is interrupting the torque flow, the instant torque flow from the dual motors. So it's just another little trick, and I kind of like it. But anyway, let's get on with acceleration and listen to that artificial engine sound. Here we go, this fast left-hander over the dip. So the Ioniq 5N weighs about 2.2 tons, but it just doesn't feel that heavy. It's ridiculously fun. You can carry so much speed into corners. There's so much grip from the Pirelli Zero tyres, 275 millimeters wide. Oh, it's just crazy grip. It's really balanced handling. Oh, there we go, that's it, adjust it on the throttle, tip it in. Yes, good brakes, a little bit of understeer, woo, a little bit of oversteer. So this thing is so quick, we'll press the NGB button, N grin boost. That gives a temporary boost acceleration. Whoa, this thing absolutely pins you back in your seat, it's so quick. 0 to 100 is 3.4 seconds. That almost matches a Porsche Taycan GTS. That costs more than double the price of this 5N. It's worth adding. 80 to 120, real world acceleration test, 1.8 seconds. Just for perspective, the M5 that we're yet to drive, that's 2.2 seconds. 80 to 120 in fourth gear. So yes, the 5N, it's more of a digital experience than the Mustang, the analog Mustang, but it's a brilliant digital driving experience. We perhaps shouldn't be surprised that the new M5 features a plug-in hybrid drivetrain. After all, it's a performance sedan that's been the epitome of technological progression for just over 40 years now. So we're in electric mode at the moment. Now, you can travel up to 68 kilometers according to WLTP cycle, and up to a speed of 140 kilometers an hour. So that's enough for your daily commute to and from work for most people. But this is an M car, so we are going to press a red M button on the steering wheel, and we're going to go into Dynamic Plus and more aggressive settings. And there is a real V8 sound. It's different to the Mustang sound. I still wouldn't mind it being a bit more pronounced, but it's a beautiful, meaty note. Now, we should address the elephant in the room, or rather, baby elephant, because the new M5 weighs about 600 kilograms more than the old model. That's a huge leap in weight. And as a result, despite the extra performance brought by the electrification, the higher outputs, this M5 is actually a little bit slower than the old M5. 3.5 seconds 0 to 100. The previous one was 3.4 seconds, or 3.3 in competition, guys. But, you know, it's just 0 to 100 acceleration. It's not everything. What's more amazing is that apart from still being ballistically quick, this M5 feels incredibly agile. It's really still a classic M car, but then you get on a straight and it's whoa. And there's the 200 on the brakes. They're pretty good. They've got a lot of weight to pull up, of course. The steering, well, yeah, look, there's not a tremendous amount of feedback, but what there is heaps of accuracy, and the weighting is just spot on, I reckon. But here we go, into a tight sequence of corners again. Turn it in. Oh, it turns in so well. Very tight corners. Right, on the gas, great traction, active M differential on the rear axle, all-wheel drive, lots of grip. It's really nicely balanced. Tip it in. It really is unbelievably agile for such a big, heavy sedan. Got so much torque, you can carry higher gears through corners, certainly higher gears than in the Mustang. But then you can just go onto a country road and this M5 will just absolutely devour kilometers and kilometers in absolute comfort. What a car. All three of these cars are brilliant and absolute winners in our view, but Money no object, and thinking more subjectively rather than objectively in this case, which car and powertrain combination is our favourite? The Ford Mustang has been modernised to a certain extent, but at its core it remains a classic rear-drive V8 muscle car. And it comes with a manual gearbox, and for that alone we absolutely love it. But the bonus that comes with this 7th generation model, it's got terrific dynamics that for too long have been an alien concept to US muscle cars. We remain huge fans of the Ioniq 5N. It's ridiculously rapid, ridiculously grippy and chuckable, and the fact that this electric car can mimic a performance combustion engine adds to the experience rather than detracts from it. Our pick, however, is a classic Jekyll and Hyde performance car. The BMW M5 is epically quick, yet it's also fun and agile in a way that you just don't expect from a car of this size and weight. The electric motor does indeed boost performance, but more importantly, it gives the M5 an extra dimension, the ability to do the everyday commute in zero emission silence. And if the future of performance cars is a mix of electrons and octane, well, we're just fine with that.